Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping in. I sure appreciate it. I managed to pick up the new e.l.f. foundations. Well, foundation. I picked up 2 shades. We'll figure out which one works for me here in a minute, but I found these at Walmart. I believe you guys saw my last video where I tried the Pretty Smart foundation. I did end up returning that, and as I was returning that, I found these. So we're gonna try these instead today and see if this works better. Okay, y'all, as you can see, my eye makeup is done. I do have on the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer just in this area right here. And then I do use the e.l.f. e.l.f. Wow Glow or Sun Glow SPF, which kind of acts as a primer as well all over my face. But outside of that, none of my base products are done, so we're going to play with this. I picked up 2 shades. This one here is 13 Fair Neutral, and this one over here is 21 Light Neutral. I picked up both of these because if the Fair is too light, which I do think it's going to be, and if this works for me, then I have a friend I can pass this to who really wants it, but unfortunately is bedridden, but she really wants post makeup, so I can get this to her. Otherwise, I have the 2 of them to mix because this looks kind of dark. I don't know. We're going to see. We're going to find out. But let's see. Let's get my hair out of the way here. So on my eyes, I did use the Natasha Denona Golden Palette again. I have had a couple days to play with this now, and I finally got the hang of the cream to powder formulas up here. In my last video, you guys saw that I struggled hard with this one. I finally got a grip of these 2, and then of course the rest just kind of speaks for itself. So today, I did something pretty similar as my last video unintentionally, but I did, let's see, this is getting messy. I did flesh in the crease, and I blended out with Panna, and it just really smoothed it out, made it much smoother. So I figured out how to use that one to my benefit. I used Teak in the outer corner, and then on the lid I used Cava mid lid, and then used Fizzy on the inner corner, and then I did use Aura as like an inner corner highlight, which I don't typically do, but I was kind of feeling it today and I really wanted to see that. The shade's Wild to me. It looks like it's going to be icy white, but it actually does have a goldish shift to it. It's really nice. But that's what I have on my eyes today. And I line my waterlines with the ColourPop BFF Cream Gel Liner in Sunnyvale. So moving on to complexion now. I've already told you my primers. Let's open both of these up. Okay, so there are the 2 shades. This one is Fair and this one is Light, both in neutral undertones. Let's kind of face swatch them. So that's the Fair. And that's the Light. All right, let's blend out the Fair. Yeah, the Fair is definitely a little too light. Believe it or not, this neutral one has in my opinion, a warmer base, but that one is definitely gonna be probably the best one for me today. As you can see, it blended in, but it says it's neutral, but in my opinion, this has a pretty warm base, which doesn't bother me, but it just was unexpected. I'm actually going to mix the 2 that's left on the back of my hand. And so when I mixed it, this is what I get. And I feel like this in itself is just going to be, yeah, see, like, I feel like that's my best match right there. That's probably going to be my best match. So we're probably going to mix the 2 shades, to be honest. I don't love mixing shades, but you know, if the formula's worth it, and it's only $8, but so I'm just going to kind of squeeze out a fair amount of both of them here on the back of my hand. Definitely got more of the light shade in there. Here it is. See, to me it just looks pretty warm. I don't know about y'all, but that's what we're working with. So I'm gonna just kind of put it on here. And the brush I'm gonna use today is actually an e.l.f. brush as well. It's the buffing foundation brush. I picked this, ooh, sorry, I'm rude. I have my phone down here. I really like this brush. I've been totally into my flat top brushes recently, but this one, I needed a second foundation brush that I could rely on because I suck at washing my brushes. So I picked this one up, and I find myself using this one a lot more often here lately. That mixed together was actually a pretty amazing shade match for me. I don't love that I'm gonna have to mix them, but at only $8 a pop, I mean, how mad can I really be? So as you saw, that blended in beautifully, like, and it feels very lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a mask. It doesn't feel drying yet. Sometimes I can get a foundation and know within seconds, like, yeah, this is going to dry my face out. This doesn't feel that way. I do still, unfortunately, have quite a bit on the back of my hand. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and build it up a little and see how buildable it is. I'm going to start by trying to cover some of my darker spots over here. Y'all, do you see that? Neither do I. It took my dark spots pretty much away. So this is building really nice. I'm covering a little extra on this side down here on my jawline because I do have some veins that stick out. They're pretty purple. I usually color correct them, but I didn't want to color correct it because I wanted to see what the coverage level of this foundation is. And I really hope this foundation doesn't let me down because unfortunately I have to see a lot of really important people today. I'm going to need my makeup to be on point. So, and that's that, you guys. That is a beautiful shade match too. I used it all up. It's got, okay, so it says medium buildable coverage. So I'm going to go out here and say that this is very high medium coverage. I've heard mixed reviews on the coverage level of this. It's covering my dark spots, y'all, like just as good as my Dior does. My Dior is considered a full coverage. Maybe it's the application method. I know a lot of people use sponges to apply. I'm a brush girly. I have sponges, but I don't necessarily like them because I do like the coverage I get. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. Here's where we're at. Look at that, guys. It covered. I mean, you can just barely see them poking out. Just barely. If this wears and performs all day like I'm hoping it does, you know, e.l.f. is just that girl. e.l.f. is just that girl. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you guys with concealer or bronzer and blush. I'll just tell you what I've put on when I come back, but I'll be back in a minute. All right, y'all, I am back. So like I said, I have a bunch of important people to see today, so I needed tried and true products. So I went with my e.l.f. Primer Infused bronzer in Forever Sunkissed, and I'm at a point now where it's very faint on my skin because I'm getting darker. So, gosh, I'm not supposed to, but I really want to pick up the next shade up just so that I can see it. My blush, I am living in this Profusion It's a Vibe palette. I used the peachier shade since I have more of a gold eye look. It kind of kept everything nice and warm, but I'm living for this right now. This will probably be the only blush I use all summer. And then I did touch into my ABH Glow Seeker highlight. It's pretty subtle, but I just kind of threw it in there because I'm in the gold moment, so why not, right? Right? And then on my lips, I have the Summer Fridays balm. But coming back to the foundation, so far this looks incredible. It is, granted, I had to mix the two shades, but it's a beautiful shade. It looks really great on my skin. It doesn't even feel like I'm wearing foundation, and it is a natural skin finish. Now, I know the bottle says satin, and that's what it is. It's essentially a satin foundation. It's very my skin but better. Very much my skin but better. But you guys, we still have to do a wear test. So I'm trying to get as close as I can here so you can see the coverage level. And then I'm going to take you outside in some natural light. And then we will check in at multiple times during the day in between all my important appointments. Okay, I'm blind out here, so I can't see, so hopefully you guys can. But let's do a quick little close up here. Now kind of come across this way. I am loving the way this looks and feels right now. Let's hope that it's got some longevity and a good solid wear test, but I will check in with you guys in a little while. Guys, I'm just sitting in the car while the kids are in practice, so I thought we officially hit the 8-hour mark. So let's take a look at this. I am just so pleasantly surprised by this foundation, and it looks so great. It is wearing off a little bit right in here, which most foundations do on me, so I don't fault the foundation for that. But this is normally my problem area, this whole area right here, and I really don't think it's that bad. I do think a little bit of the coverage has disappeared on my melasma right here, but again, I didn't color correct, I didn't set, I didn't use setting spray, I didn't do any of that, and I typically color correct this right here. And then my dark spots are peeking through a little bit, so there is a little bit of breakdown as far as coverage, but I'm at the 8-hour mark and I still think it looks phenomenal. So this is like a natural light check, and I will of course do a studio light check with you guys when I get home in about an hour and a half. But I love this. It feels great, it looks great, and I have been running out here in the hot weather. It is currently, according to my car, 108. So yeah, I've been sweating and it's held up really great. The color match is just a tiny bit off, but I was mixing shades, so I know that I'll need to go just a little bit lighter, but yeah, I think this looks phenomenal. Hey guys, this is my final check-in on the e.l.f. Satin, or Soft Glam Satin Foundation. Y'all, this is gonna be a new favorite. It really is just gonna be a new favorite. This wore and performed so beautifully today. I'm currently at the, ooh, I got pictures of my kids on here, and I don't, I like to keep their privacy, cover up their faces, but it's 8:23 p.m. So, and I put this on my lunch break, and I take lunch at 11 o'clock. So almost 9.5 hours, and it still looks immaculate. It may be difficult to tell from the distance that you're at. I will bring you in closer in just a second. But it honestly hasn't changed at all since I did my last outside check-in at, I think it was like the 7 or 8 hour mark. But, I love this foundation. I'm not excited that I have to mix two shades. I feel like there's a drastic difference between these two. I mean, you can see it in the bottle, and for this to be considered a light neutral, in my opinion, it's got a pretty warm base. I didn't look at the warm foundation compared to this. I am curious to see how much warmer a warm shade is, but my skin is loving this. My skin is just absolutely loving this. Again, I only use my e.l.f. Glow sunscreen as a primer, and then the poreless putty primer from e.l.f. just in this zone right here where my pores usually are pretty heavy. And usually about this time, even with that poreless putty primer, you can see it start to sink into the texture on my face. I'm not seeing that here. And for me, my biggest issue is the breakup around my chin and my upper lip and the tip of my nose. And I have zero breakup. I'll pull you in closer here. Actually, I'll just kind of, but as you can see, I don't really have any breakup going on. Like, this still looks incredible. The coverage is great. I think I mentioned it earlier. There's just a little bit of where my dark spots are peeking through, but we're at the 9-hour mark. I will judge a foundation up to 8 hours. After 8 hours, you know, I have a hard time faulting it, because 8 hours is a long time. I mean, our work days are at least 8 hours, and we're like, you know, so that's a lot of work for a foundation, especially in today's weather. I was sitting in between 108 and 113 all day today. So for it to hold up in that kind of heat and the sweating and not have breakdown, not have these complications that my other foundations have, and I didn't do any special kind of prep, it's just, and the price point and the accessibility. I've talked about this before. big deal on accessibility for me. If I can only get it at Ulta or can only get it at Sephora, it drives me nuts because I have to go out of my way to get a new one. But if it can be at Walmart, Target, like I'm there all day, every day, feels like. So huge win, huge win. I'm stoked. Good job, e.l.f. Thank you so much. Oh, by the way, real quick before I dip out, shameless plug here. I want to do like a get ready with me and get to know me. So on my community tab, I do have like a little post, I guess, of place where you can ask me questions. So if you have anything you want to know about me or you have questions you want me to answer, please just throw it on that post. My platform is growing, and so I feel like with all these new people, I should probably kind of reintroduce myself and get to have you guys a chance to get to know me better. So if you have any questions or interest, go check out that post in the community tab, and I will catch you in the next one. Later much!